What's up, all you spirit of vengeance loving dudes and dudettes? ToyShiz here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another Retro-Shiz look back at the past. And if you didn't know, way back in the 90s, Ghostrider, the Ghostrider himself, was supposed to have an animated series. Well, that's the rumor anyways. He showed up on the Hulk, he showed up on X-Men, actually, in a flashback for Gambit, and then he also, most notably, showed up on the Fantastic Four animated series and just absolutely crushed Galactus, one of the greatest cameos ever. He shows up, didn't even get off his motorcycle, just completely wrecked the Devourer of Worlds, of course. But again, in talking about this, yes, there were action figures slated for this quote-unquote purported animated series, we'll just say, and Wave 1, which we'll be looking at today, is quite fantastic. But I loved the box art when I was a kid. I didn't really collect these. I was more Spider-Man, picked up some X-Men. These were later on. I did have the original Ghostrider. That's part of this Wave 1. But this was awesome. It promoted the fact of flame glow in the commercial, and it was just exciting. Your figures could glow in the dark. You got a giant skull-headed motorcycle riding dude, and he fought all kinds of demons, monsters, all those 90s tropes, you know what I mean? So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, and let Retro-Shiz take you back through the 1995 Toybiz Ghostrider Wave 1 action figure.
Justice makes him boil, evil makes him burn, and then Danny Ketch becomes the Ghostrider. Flame Glow Ghostrider, blaze and vengeance, ride in the name of justice. With whip chains, hidden projectiles, and with flaming discs and a ghost fire gun, they destroy scum like Zarathos and Skinner. If evil makes you burn, ride with new Flame Glow Ghostrider, defender of the innocent. Cycles come with figures, other figures sold separately.
So bonus points if you can guess the narrator for that little commercial. But we'll start off with the Toybiz Ghostrider Wave 1 series with Skinner. Now, Skinner is one of those guys where he's got all kinds of bone protrusions all over him, and at will he can pop them out. Unfortunately, though, this figure is a little bit pre-posed, and he does come with an accessory, but he doesn't really do much of anything. He's always stuck in that, like, you know, he's showing off his muscles, like, hey, where's the gun show kind of deal. He's got some major glow-in-the-dark spikes going on in the back, which can't be too comfortable at all, let's just say. And as far as articulation goes, he does have some good points. Of course, his head will go, his legs will go, and everything else. But each of these really had a cool motion feature, something like that. Very keeping in Toybiz figures. Now, always something, but you kind of just push his legs together and he would do the ultimate Bowflex action, you know, symbolizing, you know, he's slashing at you with his bone protrusions, something like that. And then, of course, his rib cage was open and closed. So it's a very cool looking figure. A lot of glow in the dark features on that. And just to tease you, that will show up more towards the end of this video when we look at every single figure. But nice sculpt to him. Unfortunately, I mean, I wish it would have led a little bit more articulation points. But Skinner is an interesting figure, nonetheless, an interesting character, and one that really does elevate the fact of they were going wild with character selection back in the day. Now, the next one, of course, we'll look at is the old trench coat wearing original himself, Johnny Blaze, of course, better known as Blaze, and he had some mystical flame firing action going on. I always like that on the box, and by that mystical flame firing action, I mean a gun with a shooting missile. Yes, spring-loaded. Everything, all that jazz. See, there's no other way to do a missile firing gun. It's got to be spring-loaded. None of that push button stuff. You know what I mean? But the back, the front, yeah, he's a little boring. We'll just say he holds his weapon really, really nicely, and that's the whole deal with this. You know, like it was just a, hey, this is Johnny Blaze. He lost his powers, and now he has this Hellfire supernatural kind of gun. Minimal articulation, of course. I really like that underneath the jacket, you got the original Ghostrider costume, or at least the top of the shirt. Arms go up and down, legs go up and down and to the side to ride the motorcycle, and he did have wrists that would spin, and that'll come in handy once again towards the end. I'll show you a good function of all these different figures. Go ahead, push the button, launch off the missile, and shoot Skinner dead. Or if he didn't fall, just take him out karate style. That's the Johnny Blaze way, whatever it takes, jelly beans and all. Thanks a lot for that, Nicolas Cage. Anyways, this is a cool figure. Again, a little bit like, yeah, mostly trench coat going on. A lot of trench coats in these Ghostrider figures, but still a very cool looking Johnny Blaze. Now, going from Johnny over to Danny Ketch, that is, we have Ghostrider 2, and he had some transforming action going on. Not the best head sculpt, a little bit bland. Danny Ketch, interesting Ghostrider, but a look that really everyone really associates with Ghostrider, whether you think it's Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, keeping it only within the two of those in that realm. But an interesting blue Ghostrider. I actually did like this guy a whole heck of a lot. Had a chain accessory, also had some extra cuffs and stuff. Unfortunately, they've been lost to time, but you can push his head down all the way, take that Ghostrider top. Again, looking very much like a lot of the different Ghostriders that occupy Wave 1, Wave 2, and the bikes. Painted nicely, and it does situate right on top. Again, push the head down. This was a very cool Ghostrider. And again, with the joints that he does have, you could put him on any of the motorcycles for these figures. But transformation was easy. Just kind of pop open this, his head spring-loaded, pop right up. Of course, actually, spoilers, that's where Danny Ketch actually goes. He just kind of sinks down into his chest and Ghostrider pops up on top. Not the most, let's say, elegant way, I guess, of transforming. It is better than the whole, arm flips and the head flips out through the chest. None of that nonsense, I'm just going to say. But again, glow-in-the-dark details, some clip-on chains, chain belt, all that good stuff. He just looked good from every single angle. And you know what? Ghostrider actually does look good in a blue jacket. Kind of adheres to different comic iterations, artist iterations. So very cool. Well done. Like the skull. There is another skull dude in this whole Wave 1. And he comes, well, not in a glow-in-the-dark skull, but he's got some glow-in-the-dark teeth. And of course, I'm talking about Vengeance, the lovable anti-hero or villain or really whatever he does these days, but definitely the colorful one. He's the guy, he's the one in the group that he's kind of got some weird proportions to him, and it's most standoutish, I want to say. Doesn't detract from being a cool looking figure, but you really start to see the oversized hands, the tiny little waist, things like that. He's got a huge lever on the back, and of course that activates his vengeance powers. Big, huge bone gauntlets on either hand. Arms will go up and down, wrists will spin. Hit the lever on his back, of course. Can't miss that thing. It's giant. And it'll open and close his rib cage right there, just like that. Put Ghostrider's skull in there, hand and arm. You're going to lose it, nice and sharp. Legs will go up and down, fit him on a motorcycle, as we'll see in just a second. Again, nice sculpt, nice colors, big purple skull, red fire, pink pants, pink shirt. He's very stylistic, this Vengeance. But again, odd proportions here and there. It doesn't detract from the fact he's got some great glow-in-the-dark elements, and he's going to be a fun figure. Unfortunately, though, I lost his belt, much like the Ghostrider figure. Let's move on to this guy. This is Blackout, not to be confused with Blackheart. Totally different figure. We might be having a look at him later on as well, but this is the vampiric Blackout figure, sort of a Morbius vampire deal. Didn't really kill you by drinking blood, kind of sucked the life force out of you. Didn't kill you, kind of left you a husk of a human being. Real nice guy, right? Long white hair. Again, he's doing the Johnny Blaze thing, copied the trench coat. Some of the paint got kind of sloppy here and there, but for the most part, it's an interesting figure. One that I wouldn't mind, including, from Marvel Legends, tackling an entire Ghostrider wave. His only accessory is a bat, an all blacked out bat, red eyes, some paint in the teeth and the mouth. But we have actually seen this bat multiple times, including with the Morbius action figure from Spider-Man the Animated Series by Toybiz. You click his legs together, again, one of those Skinner actions, and he would do the best snow angel, I guess you could say. His wrists would spin, got some great glow in the dark, his mouth opens and closes, showing off the teeth. Nice vampiric action, we'll just say. But very cool colors, stands out. The face, though, I will say, gets kind of lost because it is that glow-in-the-dark, very pearlescent sort of style. But looking at him up close, he's an interesting figure. I like this guy a lot, and one that I'm happy to add to the Ghostrider collection, which, of course, leaves us with the big bad himself, Ghostrider. And this is actually the Danny Ketch version. And if you've ever really wondered, well, okay, how do I differentiate? Danny Ketch is all about the spikes, just FYI. Couple accessories, got a chain whip, and then a glow-in-the-dark belt. This was the first Ghostrider I've ever had, ever owned, and he is still one of my favorite favorite figures, and I got him right after I saw that episode of Fantastic Four, because I was more in terms of like, I had known who Ghostrider was, but to see him in cartoon action, Toys R Us was having a sale, buy two, get one free, and he was my free choice. Again, a couple accessories, the belt kind of curves around his waist, hooks over the back, not the best, just in terms of making it easy on you. It's kind of a pain. I don't know if it's shrunk over the years or what happened to it, but it doesn't like to hook in perfectly, at least the one that goes over his shoulder. And again, this one's kind of a flip to the other Ghostrider 2 figure. Same exact belt, but just on the other side. The one in the blue, actually it fits a lot better. Then we had a variation that we'll see in Wave 2 for the original Ghostrider figure. Didn't have the chain across, just had a more of a belt action, but hey, you know what? I kind of would have preferred that and just had a regular chain. Oh wait, we have one of those, and that actually helps with his whole action. Put it in his arm, move the arm up and down. You can either counterclockwise it a few times if you wanted to, and he'll do the whole Ghostrider spinning that we saw in the commercial, that epic commercial. I love that commercial. It sells those toys so hard. What kid would not want the Ghostrider toys back in the day? Never saw it on TV, but years later, I'm glad to see that now. So, excellent chain whip accessory. Again, still one of my favorite Ghostrider figures. He's elegant. He epitomizes Ghostrider, even though he is the Danny Ketch version. This is the look I associate most often when I think of Ghostrider, and then when I think of Johnny Blaze, he's in the blue costume. But again, as I had kind of gone over and teased a little bit, we did have Ghostriders, and then they did come with their motorcycles, only set of 3. But the nice thing about these, though, is that they thought ahead. If you wanted to buy the motorcycles or multiples, all of these figures have the joints where you can put their legs out to the side and put them with a respective motorcycle vehicle, including, and if you are Vengeance here, I did take a look at Vengeance and his motorcycle. I'll put a link in the description above and below if you want to check it out. Johnny Blaze, even with his big, huge trench coat, you have no problem actually fitting him on the bike, interestingly enough. So that works. Also, Ghostrider 2, he will fit on there nicely. Just give him a chain and he'll be set to go. Same with Danny Ketch Ghostrider. He looks good on there. And if any inclination is to the background, yeah, we'll take a look at that Ghostrider and the original bike. Skinner, oddly enough, he will fit. No hope for Blackout, though. He's just got too much of a rigid trench coat. And his arms don't really do much. Same with Skinner. Can't really grab the handlebars. So, yeah, what are you going to do? A really nice pack-in, well, of course, were the comic books. Little tiny mini comic books. Told a little story about each of the characters. Really, really cool. Just kind of pulled out of whichever story and just kind of gave you an idea of who you were dealing with, in a sense of, let's say, Skinner. Most kids going, okay, it's big muscle dude, but when you really got into it, you could see that, yes, the bones would pop out of him. He may have been a victim of this, or now he works for this. Johnny Blaze is just not having it. On the back, some nice cross cells, and interestingly enough, with Wave 1, the back was in black and white, with the flame glow being in color, and then as you got more with Wave 2, everything was in color. So that did work, but I get it. You guys are all here for one thing. You want to see the flame glow action live, just ready to go. I get it. Okay, so let's heat up the figures here on these lights. Let's get them all going. Let's set them up. Get them in a nice dark room. Hit the switch. 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bango. And it's less exciting than it is like on camera, but you could see each of the characters have multiple glow elements. And that was fun for back in the day, and it's still fun now. I love seeing, to this day, glow-in-the-dark figures, and the Ghostrider ones just absolutely nailed it. So that's really going to wrap it up on the Toybiz 1995 Ghostrider Wave 1 figures. They are fantastic toys all the way around. Really bright colors, really interesting play features. Just a blast to have. So I definitely recommend them. Check them out on eBay. Check them out on Mercari. I have a link in the description below. I'll give you $10 off your first purchase if you want to go ahead and go that route. Mercari never had any problems, so definitely check them out for old toys, especially including accessories. But don't take the ones that I, of course, need. I recommend all of them. They're very, very cool. They got some weird proportions here and there, but I like that they thought ahead. They put in some interesting articulation on most of them, except for poor Skinner here, of course. And next week, we'll take a look at Wave 2. Some more villains, some more Ghostriders, lots of Ghostriders. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about these figures. Do you have them? Do you need to get them now? comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Ghostrider. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, the answer to the commercial voiceover, of course, is Wolverine. And if you didn't know that, you need to go back and watch some X-Men, because even Wolverine knows that Ghostrider is so friggin' cool. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.